So I was messing with the patch, and I thought it was another opportunity to take a look at some parameter setups, particularly around polymeters. Now, I've been doing some work around polymeters recently for the next firmware update, but I wanted to sort of stay in the realm of what ARP can do now, so we're sticking with multiples of 2 and multiples of 3 at the moment. Think polyrhythms. But I came across an interesting patch, and I just thought I'd share it. So what I've got set up on ARP right now is, I'll come back to the chord in a minute, is a ARP 1 is set up, it's outputting on MIDI channel 1. I've got it running in Ableton, and I've got a piano sound going. And it's running at 8 steps per bar. I have a little rhythmic pattern, which means only the first 3 notes or the 3 steps of every 4 is played. And there's a subtle rhythmic groove going on. The groove pattern, I've got a little swing set up, so that second kind of dip note on the rhythmic pattern is delayed slightly, and then the 4th is missed out. There's nothing unusual going on. Both rhythm length and groove length are set to 4. And then I think I should add a little bit of modulation to the velocity. So I'm just using a standard C and running over 1 bar. I can add a humanization, if you like, just by modifying the velocity. And then I think I could have done it with a modulation, but there you go. I think I've got a modulation target on jump. And if I turn that on, what you'll get is a variation in the notes that are played. Just quickly, I'm going to talk now about the chord that I'm using. I was starting with a 7th chord, and you get something that's, fine. But I wanted to mix this up, so I just added a second position or a second note in. You get something that's just a little bit more jazzy, maybe. On the second ARP now, I've got quite a high octave jazz bass running. And this is running at 6 steps per bar. So now we're into sort of triplets realms. Now just quickly to show you, I've got the direction is the same for all of the ARPs, as is the bounce. We're just running up through a scale, so we're not really affecting the arpeggio. All the arpeggios are just running straight up. We've got 5 steps running here. So this differs from the first channel, which had 4 steps. So if we put those 2 together. So not only do you get a sort of 4 division and a 3 division, but you also get the kind of falling over rhythmic patterns of running a 4 and a 5 step sequence. So it'll eventually come back around again. Now, I'm not doing anything fancy with that second one. It's just running straight up. Don't think I've got any. Oh yes, I do have a simple kind of swing on there. If I turn that off, it's way more clunky. That swing just adds a bit of laziness into the groove. And then finally on channel 3, I have, let's see what the time's doing. I have 3 steps per bar. But what I've done, and I've got this running a different, subtly different piano sound. Yeah, again, not terribly exciting. Again, you hear it's the same pattern as the other 2. It's a simple rise. But if we look, I've got a time division on modulation. Sorry, the other way around. Modulation on time division, running on a sine wave over just 1 bar. And if I turn this on, it's running only a low value, 4% or so, but that's giving us the thoccasional rise and fall in the number of steps. If we increase that, we get some more extreme patterns going on. but obviously the wave shape means that we're going to drop into the negative. So I've found a happy medium of about 4% on that. We've also got a modulation on the gate length. I'm running quite a long gate here, it's running over a bar. But just to give us some variation within the sound, I'm running an inverse sine wave over 3 bars. If I turn this on, you'll get the gate length of that sequence wandering in and out, which is quite nice. Did I also add some? Yeah, I think I could probably add a little bit of modulation to the velocity as well to give us a little bit of rise and fall on a random within the notes. Yeah, so let's bring those 3 in together and see what we get. Lazy groove. Also added a minor percussion here. So on channel 4, 1 step every 2 bars, we get a little chime. And that's not doing anything too exciting, it's just a rising 4. Again, no modulation on this. No patterns, just a single note. So there you go. And that's a patch. You can obviously do way more with that. But yeah, I think that's a reasonable start for something quite gentle but also fairly interesting.